You know, it's been a while since I've been in the MCU. I think it's time to go back.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror and he is no friend to me.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Pitch This here on the MrEliMac YouTube channel. I'm your host, MrEliMac, and today, as you saw from the little intro bit, it is time to go back into the MCU. The last time I was even in the MCU was when I did my pitch for the 4th Spider-Man movie, which surprisingly was a little bit accurate. That's besides the point. What really matters now is that I'm going to be doing a pitch for what I would do, a movie that I would do in the MCU, a movie that I've actually had in my head for quite a while because I love the MCU. I want to do a movie in the MCU, but there's a reason why I haven't done a movie in the MCU yet, or pitched for a movie in the MCU yet, and I'll tell you soon. But before I tell you, you gotta make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you can be up to date with all the videos I have here on the channel. Also, hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever a new video like this comes your way. So, without any further ado, let's get into the pitch and the reason why I haven't really talked about a MCU movie pitch ever. And the real reason why is because whenever I've been thinking about doing an MCU movie, I've always wanted to do it on a character that hasn't had a movie yet. So, with a lot of the MCU pitches that I see normally on YouTube, it's normally just, oh, here's another sequel to this franchise that's already existed. I've never wanted to do that. That's never been something that has interested me. And it's because, for me personally, I want to try to make an MCU movie, an original one, focusing on a character that hasn't been adapted yet. And this is very much one of those pitches. This is actually the only MCU pitch I've ever had in my mind, besides the Spider-Man 4 one. And yeah, I'm very excited to actually tell everyone. And look, if Marvel ever hears this and really enjoys it and wants to make this into a movie, give me a call. Or you can do what you want, because that's what you guys do. Anyway, the character that I decided to choose, and the character that I've been wanting to do it on, is a character that very much homages something I've always wanted to do, and that is make a James Bond movie, or make a James Bond-esque movie. I've always loved that franchise, and I've always wanted to make a movie in the style of a James Bond movie, and this character in Marvel has been a character that I think would be perfect for the franchise, and something that could fit that little niche that I've always wanted to do. And the movie, I'm just going to tell you the movie title and then I'll go further into it. The movie is called Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I know with the title you're all probably thinking of something else, but this movie would very much follow the character of Marcus Johnson, aka in the comics, the son of Nick Fury, or in the comics would be known as Nick Fury Jr. Now, I am not going to call him Nick Fury Jr. in my movie. He is not Nick Fury Jr. because I really don't like the idea of having our main character being named Nick Fury Jr. I just don't like that, personally. And I wanted it to be a character that hasn't been adapted yet, something that could be new. And also another reason why I wanted to do this film is because Sam Jackson doesn't have a lot of more MCU movies left in, not his contract, but sort of when you think about how old he is, he doesn't really have a lot left in him. And this is sort of my way of going, hey, let's start transitioning into another character to being sort of the spy character of this universe and of this franchise. And one of the actors I was thinking about that could potentially play his son is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Now he's playing Wonder Man, so I'm like, that casting is out the window. Don't worry, I still have a casting in mind. But this would also sort of maybe retcon some of the stuff that happened in Secret Invasion, which I don't mind doing because I'm not the biggest fan of Secret Invasion, but only small stuff where the events of Secret Invasion and some of the backstory stuff could still work, but also retcon some stuff that happened before the events of the past of 1995. But with all that little preamble out of the way, let's get into the actual pitch. Now, the pitch very much follows the James Bond moments and the James Bond themes, or that nature, where it opens with just a, like all Marvel movies open, with just a, hey, here's something that's happening that's sort of connected to the main plot, but also not fully connected. And it sees Nick Fury returning to Earth, being like, hey, what's happening? And having contacts in S.H.I.E.L.D. and him in the forest trying to meet his contacts, but instead of meeting his contact, he meets two very mysterious and evil men, one dressed in a complete suit with sunglasses who would be known as Agent Left in the film, and another person who is dressed in a full orange armor that is shooting fire from his wrist, known as Scorcher. And Nick Fury would be trying to run away from them, trying to get his transport, trying to get back to space, but they would ultimately beat him and capture him and bring them to their leader, who would be our main antagonist of the film. And then we'd get the James Bond opening sequence. Don't know how that would work, but it would work in some way. And then that's when we'd start following Marcus Johnson, who would be just returning from doing his tour overseas, coming back to Atlanta, Georgia, where his mother is living, and then ultimately they would get attacked by some of the agents of the main antagonists. But Marcus Johnson's able to hold some of them back. His mother does not die. I don't want to kill his mom like how it is in the comic. By the way, this film is inspired by the comic book Battle Scars. And if you know that comic, you sort of know who the main antagonist is. But they are able to stop some of the bad guys, and then they are met with some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who very much turn the tide into their favor, with some of those S.H.I.E.L.D. agents being Elena Rodriguez, aka Yo-Yo, who would be returning from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. This movie, by the way, is also meant to canonize some of the events of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. The director of S.H.I.E.L.D. being Alfonso Mack McKenzie. He is the director, he is sort of the M character, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are able to help turn the tide. The bad guys are able to get defeated, and then Marcus Johnson sort of like, hey, what is happening? What is all this? Why are these bad guys coming out? And then that is when Mac reveals to Marcus that, hey, you're the son of Nick Fury. And this is a big revelation for Marcus. He's never known that Nick Fury is his dad. He's always assumed it was this other man that his mother married. And his mom, Nia Jones, would reveal the truth, how when Nick was on a mission once in the 80s, they were in a romantic relationship. They had a moment of bliss that led to the conception of Marcus Johnson. And then to protect Nia and Marcus, Nick Fury went away and they changed their entire life. And that is sort of how that, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically like, there's only one person that can save Nick Fury, and that's you. Because all of our agents are compromised, all of the heroes are compromised. No one would expect you to be the one to go out and save Nick Fury. And so Marcus begrudgingly takes the mission and goes out and starts a globe-trotting adventure trying to find Nick Fury. And some of the characters that we would meet are Elijah Stern, who would serve as the Q character, who in the Ultimate Universe is the Tinkerer, but I would be bringing him into this universe as sort of the S.H.I.E.L.D. version of the Tinkerer. Still doing that, but getting him the gear that he would need. Then we would meet Agent Henry Dobbs, who would sort of serve as the Felix Leiter, who is sort of the main person helping Marcus during the events of the film. And also we would introduce who would sort of be the main love interest of Marcus, Monica Chang, who Monica Chang is another version of Black Widow. Monica Chang would be also a Black Widow from the Red Room, who is now a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And again, it is very much a globe-trotting adventure, them trying to find all the different clues that would lead to Nick Fury. One of them would be them actually meeting Agent Left and torturing him, for lack of a better term, to get the information. And that's when it would be revealed that the main antagonist of the film is Victor Uvarov, aka Orion, who is a old enemy of Nick Fury's from that specific time period of the 80s, who's trying to get revenge on Nick Fury. And then we'd go through that. We'd have a fight scene between Marcus and the Scorcher, which would be this big, like, a man who's not used to fighting these types of people, these metahumans, like super beings, like trying to fight them off and all that. We would eventually get a moment where Marcus and Victor would have a face-to-face and basically have this villain monologue of, this is why your dad is a horrible person. And Marcus would be like, yeah, he is a horrible person because I've never met him. And then we would get a moment where Monica, Marcus, Henry, and are able to get Nick and pull him out and save him. And then we'd have this big moment between Marcus and Nick, those two having a back and forth, and Marcus even going, you abandoned me and Mom. You said you protected us. You can say you're my dad, but you're not my dad. This other guy treated me more like a son than you did because you weren't around. And Nick would very much be like, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for abandoning you. I'm sorry for abandoning your mother, but if I didn't, then you wouldn't be safe. You would not have been able to live the life that you have been living. I did it to protect you. I wanted you to not be always under fire because you were my son. And then we would also later reveal that Marcus Johnson isn't his real name. I wanted to do this thing of like, sort of like in the comics where it's like, hey, Marcus Johnson isn't really your name, this is actually your real name. I wanted to still do that, but I didn't want the reveal to be his name is Nick Fury Jr. I didn't want that. It's revealed that Marcus Johnson's name is actually Jack Fury, and Nick Fury would say, you're named after my father, Jack. And that's sort of a big deal, but then after that big major heart-to-heart moment, Victor would come back and start wrecking everything, grab Nick and get him back out, and ultimately it would be the reveal of Victor just wanting to not only destroy and kill Nick Fury, but kill and destroy all of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Marcus would defeat Victor, killing him and saving his dad and all of S.H.I.E.L.D. and also saving the world to an extent, because of course all Bond-esque villains are trying to destroy the world as well. And Marcus would meet with his mother and Nick, and ultimately they would have a moment of like, hey look, we've all buried the hatchet. Nick would be like, look, I understand if you don't want to have a relationship with me, I understand that. And Marcus like, look, I'm just not there yet. I'm not ready to have this sort of relationship with you, but just know that I do forgive you for a lot of what you did and you abandoning my mom and me. And Nick would go back up into space doing whatever he's going to be doing. Marcus would eventually take the name of Jack Fury and basically say, look, my name is Jack Fury and that's what I'm going to be called. And he would accept a position to being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that would sort of be the end of the film, with the new status quo being that Marcus, now going by Jack Fury, is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., allowing for these James Bond-esque missions to have a Fury be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's only really, in my mind, there was only really one post-credit scene in the film, and that post-credit scene would be at the very end of the film, where we would reveal that Victor is a part of a larger organization where he was going by the code name Cancer, and that organization would be the Zodiac Cartel. And we would reveal that the leader of the organization is Scorpio, who would see an image of Jack Fury, Marcus, and say, well, it's nice to see you around, brother. Revealing that Scorpio is the brother of Jack Fury and another son of Nick Fury. And that is the pitch for Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., my MCU movie that I have been sitting on for a while. What were your thoughts on the pitch? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Were you indifferent to the pitch? Whatever your thoughts, post them in the comments down below. And if you want to watch this movie 2 days early, you can go over and subscribe to my Patreon. If you're wanting to watch any of my videos early, specifically 2 days early, that's the $5 tier over at Patreon. If you just want to support me and see some behind the scenes stuff, get into some polls and stuff, that's only $1. If you want to see me do commentaries on different movies, that's the $10 tier. I haven't done any yet, but I do eventually hope to do some soon. And if you have a specific pitch that you want me to do with your specific demands, that's the $15 tier. But again, you're not required, but I would really like the assistance. But again, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like all the videos I have here and if you want to stay up to date. But until then, I've been Mr. Eli Mac, you've been the audience, and I hope you all remember to have a great rest of the day.